guys, welcome back to my channel. Today in particular, I am doing basically all KKW beauty products. I recently got the new concealers, which are so good, but wait to see. And the new KKW Makeup by Mario palette, which I am so excited about. Created this really nice like smoky eye look inspired by a look Patrick Ta did on Shane Mitchell a few months ago. Let's just get right into it. Please hit the subscribe button, and there will be a bell right next to it where you can get alerts every time I post. And yeah, that's all. Keep watching. So I'm really excited about my tutorial today. This is the new Kim KW by Mario palette. It matches my background perfectly. I really like the packaging, super simple. I think it kind of been like a little more sturdy, but so these are the shades. I'm sure you guys have seen a bunch of tutorials on them. I think they're so beautiful. I got it when I was in New York, so I'm super excited to do a video for you guys. So I've really only been using her products lately. I'm gonna go into this shade here called Miami. It's a really nice transition color, and I prepped my eyelids already with concealer, just tapping out any creases. And I'm just gonna start blending this very lightly into my crease using a big fluffy brush. And I'm just putting a generous amount all the way in, windshield wiper motions, just to really get that into the crease, and then I can start fanning it out to the sides here. I just want to get the product on there, and then I can start to deepen it. And I'm going to start, because I've already put my foundation on, I can clean anything away with concealer afterwards, but I do want to kind of create a nice shape so that there's not too much to clean up after. Going into a pencil brush in the same color, and I'm going to do the under eye area as well, just to create that initial shape. I find that if you do this, it's a lot easier to build the eye afterwards. So I'm just sort of connecting those two together so that I'm creating that one nice shape right there. And if anything's like harsh where it's connected, you just go back into that initial blending brush and blend that out. I'm going to take a bit more of a precise blending brush, and I'm going to pick up this color right here, which I believe is called Albanian. No, Albanian. Do these things on the back like totally agree with you? Like, I don't understand. So I'm going to put this right into the crease and just start deepening up the crease with this color. And it's just easier to control using a bit more of a smaller blending brush, so it's really staying in the crease. Windshield wiper motions back and forth. Using patting motions is going to give you the most color payoff. So where I want it to be the deepest on the outer corner, I'm patting it in and then blending it out. I'm going to go back into the original blending brush and just further diffuse those two lines just so they're totally seamless above the crease. And then I'm going to go back into the same pencil brush, into the same Armenian color, and I'm just going to start doing that again on the lower lash. This is also not only a good trick for creating a really nice shape to your eye, but it's also going to make sure that everything is just like super blended, especially on the under eye, because I feel like people just generally spend the least amount of time blending that out. I'm going in on a Kylie flat shader brush. I'm going to pick up this color right here. It's called Glam. It's such a beautiful goldy color, and it's more of a cool tone gold, which I really like. And I'm just going to spray it with a bit of Fix Plus to really give it that foiled effect. And I'm just going to start to place this right onto my lid, keeping it below the crease and making my way all the way to the outer corner. I'm just patting right on top of where I did the outer corner, and the color underneath is just going to deepen the color I'm now putting on top. Color is just everything. Like the shadows are so creamy. Literally everything you've heard about them is so true. So I'm going to go back into the Precise Blending brush, back into the color Armenian, and I'm just going to blend this into the crease and just deepen that up a little bit more because it's a little light. Pack a little bit more on top of the outer corner. Fix Plus on this Urban Decay Vice brush, and I'm going to pick up this color right here. I'm just going to add this right into the inner corner and a little into the eye. And this color is like so pigmented, like such a pretty frosty sparkle. It's really nice. It's really gonna lighten up the inner corner. I'm going in on a really small fluffy pencil brush. I'm spraying it, and I'm going to pick up this coppery color right here. Packing this onto the lower lash line just so it's extra pigmented. I'm gonna have a little bit of fallout, but that's fine because again, we will clean this all up with concealer. It just gives like another kind of shade of gold into the look that really complement each other, but are still different enough that you can tell. I'm just going to lightly blend all of this out underneath the eye. So to finish the eye, Shane Mitchell was wearing a red liner. I don't have a red eyeliner and I keep forgetting to buy one, so I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to line my waterline using my Charlotte Tilbury lip liner. I'm just going to start lining my waterline with it. Okay, maybe tear, but it looks cool. I'm just going to take super fluffy brush and I'm just going to wipe away any of the powder fallout on my cheeks that I've gotten so far. I'm actually going to add my mascara and lashes in the end. So I'm going to continue working on the rest of my face. I bought the Kim KW concealers in 2 different colors. I got number 5, which is more of a warm tone, and I got number 3, which is more of a paler, more neutral tone, just because I wanted to see them both, and I can use the warm one in the summer and the cool one in the winter. Add some lines and then just like start making the shape. Not all the way up against where I want it, but kind of close. Do a little in the center of my forehead, down the center of my nose, and this has like been such a good nose highlight because it's so pigmented, and a little on my chin. And then wherever I just like want to cover up a little like spot concealing, I can do that now as well. Going in on my damp beauty blender, I'm going to start blending this in. I'm just going to be really careful when I get to this edge not to go too close to the eye, but just to make sure it stays nice and clean. And these concealers blend out so easily, and then I don't find that they move. Like, I've hardly had any under eye creasing. They're super brightening. Like, I really like it. Like, I've been using it every single day and have not used one other concealer since I got them in the mail. So far so good. I just wish it was easier to like repurchase them, because if it is your like go-to everyday concealer, then it's kind of hard to get and the containers are pretty small. Very lightly tapping the center of the nose just so the product doesn't move from that line. Now I'm going to use her cream contours to warm up my face. And this is the medium stick. I'm going into the lighter shade just because it's such a nice warm tone, and Shane Mitchell's obviously has a much darker skin tone than me, but I want to really bronze up my face. I felt like her look was super bronzy and it was really nice. Drawing a very thin line down the sides of my nose for my nose contour, a little bit under my lip, and then a little bit around the jaw. I'm going to start to just blend this in with my Beauty Blender. Sort of smiling and bringing it up onto my cheeks, especially when I want to really look bronzy. I feel like it helps when it's on my cheeks as well. And it blends out really nicely. Like, it's not cakey. It doesn't get like muddy looking. Just super nice, warm contour color. But again, I'm not really using it to contour. It's going to be more just to bronze my face. So around the perimeter of my face, a little bit down my chin. You always want to make sure this part is very, very blended out. I'm just taking the sides of the Beauty Blender and very lightly just swiping almost down, but sort of in place. You don't want to bring it towards the center part of your nose where you've already highlighted, even though I just fucked up, but I will show you what to do. Clean up that nose contour. I'm just going to go back into the concealer and do a nice thin line down the center of my nose. Just very gently tap it into place, and that will really sharpen your nose contour. I'm just tapping in under my lip, and this will just give the illusion that your bottom lip is a little bit fuller. I'm not going to do any cream highlight, but I am going to first set my under eye using the baking setting powder. This is in number 2. It has more of a pinky tone to it, which I just find super brightening. So I'm going in on my damp Beauty Blender at the tip and picking it up. And I'm just going to start placing this underneath the eyelid. And at first I'd like to take the product with the damp Beauty Blender and it sort of just melts into the skin. And then I go back in, pick up another layer, and I just like to place that there, and then I leave this layer. But I've already tapped in another layer, and I find that anyone who complains about a really bad creasing under eye, this trick is amazing with a loose setting powder, and you just make sure the product totally melts into the skin, and then you can go back on top and create a baking layer. And the baking is totally unnecessary. I definitely don't do it every day, but I definitely have been using this powder to set under my eyes. This in the middle of my forehead, also tapping it in. So my grandma told me that I have a really high-pitched voice and that she wanted to get me voice lessons so that I sounded more mature. Don't know whether or not I should be offended. I guess I have a high-pitched voice, guys. In my head, I have like the deepest set voice, so it's so funny to hear that kind of feedback. I'm going to do the same thing to my chin. Then I'm just going to slightly carve out the contour, just really like keeping it towards the edge of my ear, very little, because I don't want this to be like Instagram makeup harsh. I'm going to go into the KKW Beauty Bronzing Palette. I'm going to pick up the darker contour color. Really tap off your brush. These products are hella pigmented. And I'm just going to lightly pat that. Like, look. That's insane. Lightly pressing that into the hollows of my cheek. Like, so it just mirrors it like so dark. What the hell? Ever looking too dark, just take your Beauty Blender and do what I'm doing. Just blend it out. I'm not even going to pick up any more product. I'm just going to blend what's ever left on the brush. Go in on a big bronzer brush. I'm going to pick up the lighter color. I'm just going to use this to really just bronze the rest of my face. So the tip of my nose, around the perimeter of my forehead, along my jawline, down my neck, Taking a fluffy, like, face brush. This is the Charlotte Tilbury one, and I'm just going to use this to wipe away all the excess powder. Like, really make sure you are wiping all this powder off, because you don't want to then go take like flash pictures and have white powder under your eyes. So really make sure that is all blended out and off. And you would think, because you're baking and like there's so much product on your face, that you would almost look cakey, but you don't at all. This stuff is so finely milled. My under eyes, like my skin just feels like buttery soft. I can't even explain it. Blush, I'm just doing something totally like neutral and muted. I'm going into my all-time favorite blush. This is Madly by NARS. I'm just picking it up onto my blush brush. I'm just going to smile, and I'm just going to lightly dust this onto the apples of my cheek. She had a very subtle blush. I just want something that's like goes the eye look that's a little bit more bronzy, nothing too pink. Highlight, I'm going to start under my brow. I'm just going to mix these two colors together. I'm going to put this right under the arch. I'm going to pick these two colors up again. I'm just going to add this right into the high points of my cheek. The reason I'm mixing them is because I find that one is too pink and the other one's too yellow, but together super pretty. I just don't want anything too pink with this makeup look. Something a little more bronzy. Look how like wet and glossy that highlight is. Crazy. And I'm just going to add this like right next to the edge of the eyeshadow ends. And then just a bit above my brow. Well, to my chin. Cupid's bow. What I've been doing is taking my finger and I'll just like put it a little dot at the tip of my nose. Taking a bit more and just putting it right in between the brow. So before I move on to finish my eyes, I'm going to take a bit of my Fix Plus and I'm just going to spray. This is just going to set all the powders that I've put onto my face. And before I use the brightening under eye powder, it'll just sort of make one blended canvas. So to finish my eyes, I'm going to try out this new BUXOM mascara. This is called the Big T's Plumping Mascara. I know, can you believe I'm straying? Because I feel kind of guilty about it right now. I mean, like, I definitely don't hate it. I'm really into this mascara. I'll definitely report back on how this mascara wears, but so far I really like it. I feel like my lashes look really long. Like, I don't even need falsies at all. I got number 1 in the KKW brightening powder. Okay. And it has this like very like pearlescent shimmer to it. It's a really nice sort of like banana powder, and I'm just picking it up on my flat powder brush that I use normally to set under eyes. Lightly tap right just in this little nook in between my nose. Like, I'm bringing it up on the sides of my nose a bit. Like, look how, and just a little under my eye. Like, look how much brighter this under eye looks and the side of my nose than this. It's crazy. For my lips, I am going into the KKW with Mario Classic K lipstick. It's super creamy. It's a little bit more of an orangey tone than I would probably use, and like thought it would be. I also think it's just because I'm so pale. Got both lip glosses. One is called Super Nude and this one is called Juicy. I think I'm going to use the Juicy one only because I just feel like it's a little orangey for my skin tone, the lipstick. And the lip gloss is so nice. Also so smooth. Like, it's not like, it almost feels like a lipstick. Like, it doesn't feel like a tacky gloss. It's really nice. I'm going to do one quick spray of the Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist. and this is the final makeup look. I'm just going to go accessorize and I will be right back. I don't know what else to say besides I love her products. They like literally have lasted me all day, every day. They look so good. My skin feels really nice. They don't feel drying at all. The palette is beautiful. The color selection is beautiful. I did a look using all blue. If you want to see that, I can do a tutorial on that as well. And I'm just super impressed by all her products. I don't love the bronzer palette, but the highlight, I do have to say, is like pretty on point. So definitely recommend the concealers and the setting powders and the palette and the lipsticks. I know they're hard to get, but if you have the opportunity to get your hands on them, I definitely recommend doing so. And I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. This is sort of like a fun, summery, smoky eye. I'm definitely going to be posting a lot more spring and summer makeup inspired looks. So if there's anything particular you want to see, please let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you.